This week, United States President Donald Trump confirmed that the U.S. had struck a docking facility in Venezuela, marking the first military action on the South American country's land since it began targeting Venezuelan shipping in the Caribbean and Eastern Pacific in September 2025, speaking to reporters as he met in Florida with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Trump said there had been an explosion in Venezuela, at a facility where boats the U.S. believes to be carrying drugs usually load up. There was a major explosion in the dock area where they load the boats up with drugs, he said. They load the boats up with drugs, so we hit all the boats, and now we hit the area. It's the implementation area. That's where they implement. And that is no longer around. Trump did not reveal more details about the strikes. Despite modeling himself as the president of peace deserving of a Nobel Peace Prize, who, he claims, has ended 8 wars around the world this year, Trump's Venezuela strike was just the latest in a string of his administration's military attacks around the globe since its inauguration in January. Armed Conflict Location Event Data or ACLED, the nonpartisan conflict monitor, told Al Jazeera that the U.S. had carried out, or been a partner to, 622 overseas bombings in all, using drones or aircraft, since January 20, 2025, when Trump took office. The attacks contrast with his promise to voters to end U.S. involvement in foreign conflicts. The U.S. carried out military attacks against a total of 7 countries in 2025. This week, the U.S. confirmed one strike on a docking facility on Venezuelan territory, as part of the Trump administration's escalating war on boats it claims are smuggling drugs from the country to the U.S. No details about where the strike took place have been released. That followed the U.S. Navy's seizure of 2 oil tankers off the Venezuelan coast earlier in December, in an apparent attack to choke Maduro's main economic lifeline. Washington claims the vessels are part of a shadow fleet of tankers smuggling sanctioned oil. Since August, the U.S. has amassed the largest military presence in the Caribbean Sea in decades, causing alarm among governments there. The Trump administration claims this is warranted because the trafficking of drugs to the U.S. constitutes a national emergency, but multiple reports have shown that Venezuela is not a major source of drugs being transported across borders. On September 2, the U.S. began striking small boats in the Caribbean that it alleges were trafficking drugs. It is thought it has struck more than 30 vessels since then. The Trump administration says the vessels are operated by Venezuelan terrorist organizations, including the Tren de Aragua Group and the Colombian National Liberation Army. However, it has provided no evidence for this. At least 95 people have been killed in the boat strikes, Human Rights Watch revealed on December 16, accusing Washington of extrajudicial killings. In early December, U.S. lawmakers from both Republican and Democratic sides urged the Pentagon to release full footage of the first strike on September, which has proved even more controversial following revelations that the vessel was subject to a double-tap attack. 2 survivors of the first attack clinging to debris in the water following a first strike were killed in a follow-up strike. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has said the footage will not be released. Caracas accuses the U.S. of using claims of drug trafficking as a cover for seeking a government change in Venezuela. Trump, meanwhile, has called Venezuela a narco state and said,